If you didn't know, there's some drama that's been unfolding in the WordPress community. So Matt Mullenweg is the founder of WordPress. He runs WordPress.org and the company Automattic. And they have a couple other plugins and things that go along with WordPress, and they kind of oversee the whole ecosystem essentially. Now, WordPress is, of course, open source and available for other people to use and do things with. And there are other companies that create plugins for it and things like that. One is called WPEngine, who offers hosting, and then they have their own line of plugins as well, including one called Advanced Custom Fields, which is used by a lot of websites out there to create custom post types and things like that. Now, I guess last month, Matt Mullenweg had written a post about saying how WPEngine is kind of a cancer because they do things like turn off revision history by default in their hosting environment, and they're kind of doing things that slow down WordPress, and it's hurting what WordPress was meant to do. And they're benefiting from the fact that they're calling themselves WPEngine, which causes confusion because it's not officially a WordPress licensed product. They're not paying for licensing to use that term, and so he thinks they shouldn't be doing that. He also thinks they're not contributing enough to the WordPress community in terms of development hours if they're benefiting so much from it through their hosting and these plugins and stuff that they're creating. Now, there's been stuff flying back and forth. There's been some legal things, some cease and desist letters. I don't know all of those details back and forth. But over the weekend, Matt published another letter basically saying that they are, it's kind of like, it feels like a hostile takeover because their Advanced Custom Fields plugin that's in the WordPress.org plugin directory available to all websites, all WordPress sites, they kind of took it over, and they're like, hey, we have the right to do this because of point 18 of our plugin directory guidelines. We're going to fork this plugin. And normally forking a plugin, totally fine, right? Like I said, this is open source. It's all under the new public license, so you're allowed to do that and create derivative works and things. But in this case, they are, instead of forking it and creating a separate plugin, they're taking over the existing one and renaming it into Secure Custom Fields. They're removing commercial upsells, and they said, fixing a security issue. But it seems like overkill. Like in normal circumstances, they do say this is very rare and that something like this has happened before. But WPEngine is like, we had already patched the issue, the security issue. We're actively developing the plugin. Why do you got to step in here? And it all seems to be part of this whole beef back and forth. So I don't know what's going to happen from here, but if you're a current user of Advanced Custom Fields on WordPress, WPEngine did publish a support notice where if you want to keep getting updates on the free version, they've got a version you can download and install from their site. Otherwise, if you update through the WordPress plugin directory, it'll turn into Secure Custom Fields instead, and that's what you'll have going forward, which will now be maintained by the WordPress development team at Automattic. So there may be more. I'll let you know if I learn anything else, but this is hopefully not going to cause harm to the greater WordPress community, because if people are realizing that, hey, Matt can just step in and kind of take over a plugin, that's not cool. I imagine it won't hurt the majority of smaller developers and things because they don't have the same pull and they're not making the same kind of money as WPEngine, but it's very interesting to know that they can do that. I will say that with the new public license and the derivative works thing, typically if you're going to rework something, you got to kind of make it your own. Like, so for example, DropFunnels is a platform that took WordPress itself, customized it, reskinned it, added features, changed things, stripped out stuff they don't want. Like, it's like almost a completely new plugin that's built on top, almost a new platform that's built on top of WordPress. So it's a separate thing. It's not like they changed it and still called it WordPress, which is kind of, I think, what Matt is implying that WPEngine has done with WordPress on their hosting. And this custom fields thing seems to be just kind of, I don't know, almost a sucker punch. Like, all right, fine, you're not going to contribute more and pay our licensing fees. We're going to take your plugin. But that's just speculation from the outside here. Anyways, check back later. Have a good one.